CBSYN are spoilers next week. Full episodes March 9th to March 1, 2026. The unfolding kidnapping crisis surrounding Jack Abbott is rapidly becoming one of the most chaotic and emotionally explosive storylines in The Young and the Restless. What initially appeared to be a ruthless power play has now evolved into a citywide crisis that threatens to fracture relationships, destroy alliances, and push several characters toward decisions they may later regret. The revelation that Victor Newman is allegedly behind Jack's abduction has ignited outrage and desperation throughout Genoa City. Victor's demand is as chilling as it is strategic: the return of Chancellor in exchange for Jack's freedom. Such a demand instantly transforms the situation from a private crisis into a corporate and emotional war. The Abbott family finds itself cornered, forced to weigh the life of one of its most important members against the legacy of an empire built over decades. Meanwhile, whispers are beginning to circulate that Nikki Newman may reach her breaking point if Victor's involvement becomes undeniable. Some believe she could even threaten divorce if she discovers that her husband truly crossed the line into kidnapping and blackmail. In a city already fueled by power struggles and personal betrayals, such a possibility would shake the foundations of several long-standing alliances. Amid this growing storm, another storyline begins to develop that could complicate matters even further. Sally Spectra finds herself standing at the edge of a decision that may appear small on the surface but could ultimately create unexpected ripple effects. When Sally casually mentions that she plans to have dinner with Billy Abbott, Audra Charles reacts with immediate concern. Audra has developed a keen instinct for trouble, and the moment Sally describes the meeting as nothing more than a farewell dinner, Audra senses that the situation may not be as simple as Sally claims. Sally insists that the dinner carries no emotional meaning and that it is merely a final gesture meant to close the chapter between her and Billy, yet Audra's intuition refuses to settle. She has seen too many situations spiral out of control because someone convinced themselves that a harmless moment would remain harmless. Audra's warning comes not from jealousy or interference but from genuine concern. She recognizes how fragile Sally's emotional state has become after months of disappointment and uncertainty. For someone who has already endured several romantic complications in Genoa City, spending an intimate evening with Billy, especially during a crisis involving his brother, could reopen feelings that Sally may not be prepared to handle again. Audra also understands something else that Sally might be overlooking. Billy is not currently living in a calm or rational state of mind. His brother has been kidnapped, Victor is making impossible demands, and the entire Abbott family is on the verge of a corporate war. In situations like that, emotions run dangerously high, and even the most innocent conversation can turn into something far more complicated. Despite Audra's caution, Sally refuses to reconsider her plan. She insists that the dinner represents closure rather than rekindling. In her mind, walking away from Billy without bitterness is a sign of emotional growth. She wants to prove to herself that she is capable of ending a relationship without being dragged back into the same cycle of attachment and disappointment. Yet Sally may not fully recognize how much unresolved tension still lingers between them. Billy's life is currently unraveling, and in moments of crisis people often seek comfort in the most familiar places. Sally, with her empathy and emotional openness, may unintentionally become that comfort. After the dinner takes place, Sally eventually returns to update Audra on what happened. While she tries to describe the evening casually, Audra's concern only deepens. Her worries are not limited to Sally's emotional well-being. Audra is also thinking about the stability of their professional partnership, particularly their work with Spectra Charles Media. She fears that if Sally becomes entangled again in Billy's chaotic world, the consequences could affect their company as well. Businesses built on fragile partnerships can easily collapse when personal drama begins to interfere with professional focus. Audra knows how quickly reputations can be damaged in Genoa City, and she refuses to watch their venture become collateral damage in someone else's family war. Sally tries to reassure her friend. She insists that the dinner with Billy has no impact on their business plans. According to Sally, her commitment to Spectra Charles Media remains absolute. She promises that whatever happens in her personal life will never threaten the future of their company. Sally genuinely believes what she is saying, but Audra's hesitation remains visible. The truth is that Audra has been betrayed too many times in the past to accept reassurance at face value. She has learned through painful experience that loyalty can vanish quickly when emotions become involved. Even if Sally believes she can separate business from personal relationships, Audra knows how unpredictable human behavior can be when love, guilt, or nostalgia enter the equation. While Sally and Audra navigate their uneasy conversation, the larger crisis surrounding Jack continues to escalate. Victor's demand regarding Chancellor is sending shockwaves through the city's corporate structure. The company represents far more than financial value. It symbolizes power, influence, and legacy. Surrendering it to Victor would mean handing him a victory that could reshape Genoa City's entire balance of power, yet refusing to comply could place Jack's life at even greater risk. The situation grows even more complicated when it becomes clear that the final decision may not belong to the Abbotts alone. That is where Phyllis Summers unexpectedly enters the center of the storm. Because of her connection to Chancellor, Phyllis now holds a critical piece of the puzzle. Victor may demand the company's return, but the authority to approve such a transfer ultimately lies with her. Suddenly, a woman known for her unpredictable decisions becomes the person who could determine whether Jack is saved or left trapped in Victor's dangerous game. Phyllis understands the magnitude of the power now resting in her hands. She knows that every option carries consequences. Granting Victor what he wants could free Jack but strengthen Victor's grip on Genoa City. Refusing his demand could protect Chancellor yet condemn Jack to an uncertain fate. As tension builds across multiple storylines, the emotional stakes grow heavier for everyone involved. Nikki may soon find herself confronting the darkest side of her husband if the kidnapping is proven true. Billy may be pushed toward extreme actions as desperation for Jack's safety intensifies. Sally may unknowingly step into emotional territory she believed she had left behind. Audra may be forced to question whether her trust in Sally is strong enough to survive the chaos surrounding them. And Phyllis, perhaps the most unpredictable player of all, now holds the power to decide whether Victor's ruthless strategy succeeds or collapses. In a city where ambition, revenge, and loyalty constantly collide, the kidnapping of Jack Abbott has become the spark that could ignite several new conflicts at once. Relationships will be tested, alliances may shatter, and some characters could find themselves making decisions they never imagined possible. The question now hanging over Genoa City is not simply whether Jack will be rescued. It is whether anyone will emerge from this crisis without permanently altering the fragile web of trust that once held their world together. The kidnapping of Jack Abbott continues to ripple through every corner of Genoa City, and the emotional fallout is only beginning to take shape. According to upcoming revelations in The Young and the Restless, the situation is about to grow even more explosive as Nikki Newman finally learns the truth about Jack's disappearance. For years, Nikki has stood beside Victor Newman, defending him against accusations and trusting that beneath his ruthless reputation there remained a line he would never cross. Yet the moment she realizes that Jack has been abducted and that Victor may be involved, that trust could begin to crumble in a way Victor never anticipated. The revelation does not simply expose another power struggle between business rivals, it threatens to shatter one of the most complicated marriages in Genoa City. Victor, for his part, does not appear interested in softening the impact of his actions. He may acknowledge the demand he has issued regarding Chancellor, but it is highly unlikely that he will immediately reveal Jack's location to Nikki. Victor has always believed that secrecy and leverage are his greatest weapons, and admitting too much even to his wife would weaken his position. Unfortunately for him, Nikki is not just another observer in this situation. Her history with Jack stretches back decades, built on moments of support, rivalry, loyalty, and deep mutual respect. Their bond has survived countless storms within Genoa City's chaotic social landscape. More importantly, many people still remember that Jack once played a crucial role in saving Nikki's life. That act alone forged a connection that transcends ordinary friendship. For Nikki, Jack is not simply an old ally or former rival. He is someone who stood by her when she was at her lowest, and the idea that Victor might now be responsible for harming him could ignite a fury Victor has never seen from his wife before. The emotional stakes for Nikki are therefore enormous. If Victor refuses to explain his actions or dismisses her concerns with the same cold logic he often uses in business, Nikki may feel forced into a dramatic response. For years she has struggled to reconcile Victor's darker instincts with the man she believes still exists beneath them. But kidnapping crosses into territory that even Nikki might find impossible to justify. The possibility that she could threaten divorce is no longer unthinkable. Such a threat would not simply be an emotional outburst, it would represent the ultimate boundary Nikki is willing to draw. By confronting Victor with the possibility of losing their marriage, she would be demanding something Victor rarely provides: anyone accountability. Whether Victor would take such a threat seriously or attempt to manipulate the situation in his favor remains an open question, but one thing is certain. Nikki will not remain silent if she believes Jack's life is in danger. While this emotional confrontation looms on the horizon, other members of the Newman family are already feeling the pressure of the unfolding crisis. Victoria Newman finds herself wrestling with guilt as she confides in Nate Hastings. Victoria admits that she should have been honest with Nate earlier about the situation involving Lily Winters. At the time, both she and Nate believed Victor when he claimed that Lily had already agreed to certain arrangements. Victor's word has always carried enormous weight within the Newman family, and trusting him once again seemed like the easiest path forward. Now that Lily remains missing and another kidnapping has surfaced, Victoria realizes that their faith in Victor may have been disastrously misplaced. This revelation places Victoria in a difficult emotional position. She must confront the possibility that her loyalty to her father has indirectly contributed to the current crisis. For Nate, the situation creates an entirely different kind of dilemma. Their budding romance has been developing slowly, built on mutual respect and cautious optimism. Yet the chaos surrounding Victor's actions threatens to destabilize that fragile connection. Nate may find himself questioning how deeply Victoria remains entangled in her father's world. If Victor continues to make extreme decisions that place innocent people in danger, Nate could struggle to reconcile his growing feelings for Victoria with the destructive legacy of the Newman Empire. What once appeared to be a promising relationship could now become another casualty of Victor's relentless pursuit of control. Elsewhere, another storyline quietly unfolds that could soon intersect with the larger crisis gripping Genoa City. Christine Blair, portrayed by Lorelei Bell, continues to dedicate her energy to the complicated legal case involving Mariah Copeland. Christine's reputation as a determined and principled attorney has always made her a formidable figure in Genoa City's legal landscape. Her ongoing work in Mariah's case suggests that new developments may soon surface that could expose hidden truths or challenge the assumptions surrounding the situation. Although this storyline currently unfolds somewhat separately from the Jack kidnapping crisis, Genoa City has a way of weaving seemingly unrelated conflicts together in surprising ways. Christine's investigation could uncover information that unexpectedly intersects with other power struggles currently destabilizing the city. Meanwhile, Nick Newman continues his own dangerous mission to expose Matt Clark. Nick believes that bringing Matt's secrets into the light could reveal deeper corruption and prevent even more damage from spreading through Genoa City. Yet Nick's determination hides a vulnerability that could sabotage everything he has been working toward. His struggle with fentanyl addiction has become an increasingly dangerous secret. If Matt begins to suspect that Nick is not operating at full strength emotionally or physically, the entire investigation could collapse. Matt is the type of adversary who thrives on weakness. Discovering Nick's addiction would give him the leverage needed to destroy Nick's credibility and escape exposure entirely. As these storylines converge, the tension across Genoa City continues to intensify. Jack's captivity remains the central mystery driving everyone toward desperate choices. Nikki stands on the edge of a confrontation that could redefine her marriage. Victoria grapples with the consequences of trusting her father too easily. Nate faces the uncomfortable reality that loving someone connected to Victor Newman may come with unavoidable complications. Christine digs deeper into a legal case that could reveal new secrets. And Nick risks everything to bring down an enemy who may already hold the key to his downfall. In the world of the young and the restless, crises rarely unfold in isolation. Each secret, betrayal, and act of courage sends shockwaves through the lives of everyone connected to it. As the truth behind Jack's kidnapping slowly emerges, the real question may not be whether he will be rescued, but how many relationships will be irreparably changed by the choices people make in the desperate attempt to save him.